Gang, I want to talk about this idea of amplifiers and filters, and it's in the context of people. So, you know, Debbie Downer is a really good example of an amplifier. Or no, Debbie Downer is a good example of a filter, taking anything positive and turning it into a negative. That's a filter. You filter something from good to negative, but also there's a positive filter. A positive filter is where you take some bad stuff and you spin it into a positive light. That's a positive filter. And amplifiers are when you take something that's kind of good, you make it really good. You kind of take it and run with it. And then there's also a negative amplifier where you take something that's a little bit bad, but you resist it. You just hate it so much, you just fight it, and it makes it worse. And that's a negative amplifier. And nobody's really always an amplifier, always a filter, or a negative filter, positive filter. Debbie Downer might be the one example of always a negative filter, but in different contexts and different social groups, you might alternate between one and the other, and it's hard to really realize exactly which one you are of the four different kinds of groups. It's hard to know which one you are without a little bit of perspective or a little bit of mindfulness. Usually, it's somebody outside will be like, "Dude, you always bring the mood down," or "You're a really positive person. You always bring the mood up." It's something that strikes me in that there are some athletes that I know, there's some people that I know in my personal life that always kind of do one or the other. They always have a positive spin to stuff, and they're really fun to be around, or they're sort of they bring stuff down. And then there are also people who are just kind of like they go with the flow, and they just kind of take the vibe and go with it. But everybody's a little bit different, and it's not to say that you can't change, but if you're not aware of what you do, it's really hard. And generally, if you're not mindful of exactly what you're doing, what kind of part of that quadrant you're in, you're probably putting out some bad stuff there. And it's this idea of a sin eater. That you take some bad stuff out from the outside world and you put it inside yourself, and then you eat the sin, eat the darkness, so it's no longer in the world. But what's tough about that is you take that upon yourself, and that can eat away pretty quickly. So sin eaters are cool, they're necessary sometimes, but I like to think of filters because that's you can change your filter out, you can clean it out every once in a while, and then you go back and out into the world kicking butt. So think about it. Think about the last time you brought the mood up, brought the mood down, or took the mood and ran with it. And it's not to say that it's always bad to bring the mood down sometimes. Sometimes it's a little... Sometimes you need quiet moments of reflection. But it's good to know what you are when you're doing it. Enjoy.